Here we are then, day 5, the final preview of this first week of previews. It's the first team in Group B, and that is Spain. Now, Spain were known as serial underachievers for many, many years until the period of 2008 to 2012. And then in that time, they dominated the scene. They won Euro 2008, the 2010 World Cup, and in the 2012 European Championships. They were all over everything. Tiki-taka was not just the best system in international football, but Pep Guardiola's Barcelona were also flourishing, playing that lovely passing football. It all culminated into this beautiful, free-flowing football from the likes of Iniesta and Xavi, but unfortunately it did come to a very bitter end at the 2014 World Cup. They were smashed 5-1 by the Netherlands in the group and never really recovered, and since then in the following years they've only made it past the last 16 once. And that was at Euro 2020, the last European Championships. They made it all the way to the last 4. At that tournament, they beat both Croatia and Switzerland in the knockout rounds before losing on penalties to Italy. And the sort of notion around Spain now is sometimes they catch fire and they're fantastic, and other times they're just a little bit anonymous. In terms of qualification, they started it off very poorly with a defeat to Scotland that certainly raised some eyebrows, but they quickly recovered to salvage their efforts. They ended with 7 wins from 8, with 25 goals scored and just 5 goals conceded. In their last 2 friendlies though, they lost 1-0 to Colombia and drew 3-3 with Brazil, which again adds to that notion that sometimes they're excellent and they're flying, and other times they're a little bit flat. Their coach is someone who's probably not particularly well known outside of Spain, and that's Luis de la Fuente. He rose through the youth managerial ranks with Spain. He's been in charge with their under-19s all the way through to the under-21s and now with the main national team. He took over at the end of the 2022 World Cup with a contract that runs until the end of Euro 2024, so it'll be very dependent on this showing in terms of whether he gets the job on a longer term basis. He also believes in that 4-3-3, those tiki-taka principles, but he prefers having a proper focal point in the number 9 spot. In terms of players to watch, their captain is former Chelsea man Alvaro Morata. He has been Spain's top scorer at their last 2 tournaments. He's been a consistent scorer with Atletico Madrid in the last few seasons, but he does have the form to blow hot and then blow cold. In terms of their star man though, I have to go with Manchester City's holding midfielder, Rodri. He just gets better with age. He's like a fine wine. He's really refined his skill set from when he first turned up at the Etihad. Plays it very nicely, but he can also do the dirty work too. In terms of one to watch though, it has to be Lamine Yamal. He is just 16 years old, a real prodigy of the game. He scored 2 goals in qualifying from just 6 appearances too. And this year he's having a real breakout year with his club Barcelona. In terms of other observations though, there is a lot of talent in this squad outside of Yamal, including Javi and Kubasi and Nico Williams. But one problem I do foresee them having is their strength at centre half. In terms of previously having the likes of Puyol and Piqué and Ramos, there isn't quite the same level of quality there now. In terms of how they line up, expect a very classic Spain 4-3-3. They have very brave fullbacks at their disposal, including the likes of Balde and Pedro Porro and Gaya, etc. They have a sumptuous passing midfield and Morata as the spearhead. He's likely to be flanked by Ferran Torres and starlet Nico Williams. In terms of what they hope will happen, they will hope they can get through this group with flying colours and kickstart a golden run that leads to them winning the tournament. In terms of what I think will happen though, actually I don't think they're going to be too far off the mark. I think they're going to win this group. I think they're going to get through the last 16 and the quarterfinals before bailing out in the semi-finals where they're likely to meet France. In doing so though, I believe that De La Fuente is going to keep his job on a longer term basis. Spain's odds for the tournament are 8-1. They are the 4th favourites to go all the way. And that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That rounds out the first week of Euro 2024 previews. Thank you to all those who've watched. If you've missed any so far, you can catch up on the playlist that's sitting next to me. But for now, I will see you back again on Monday where we will take a look at Italy. See you then.